great. Yeah. Well, you know who it is. Live from the head room.
Yo, welcome back to the boot room. I'm Marcus. This is Proper Retro Boots. This is my website. I sell classic football boots if you didn't know. If you're here though, chances are you like football boots. That's why you're watching a video about them, specifically the ones in these box. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. I'm going to be reviewing these very special boots. But first, become a season ticket holder, hit subscribe, like this video, comment on this video, do whatever you want to this video. Just hang around because if you like this content, you're going to like more of the videos. We've got more reviews up on the channel, got vlogs, stuff like that. Go and watch it all now or after this. But anyway, this video, another review. These have been coming thick and fast. I've been grabbing a few pairs that I've seen over 2022 and I've decided there's a few special boots I wanted to get, test out, wear and let you guys know from me, a very average footballer, mediocre boot seller, what I think of them in terms of boots as pairs to wear, pairs to invest in, stuff like that. So without further ado, today's episode, it's another Adidas special edition pair. Hopefully you've just seen the LZ remake review. It's another kind of remake, modern twist, special pair. You can see that there. That's right. One of two Adidas F50 special edition battle pack remakes they brought out this year. But these are, in my opinion, probably the best remake Adidas have done in a long time. People liked the OG Mania remake recently. I thought it was fine, it was a bit boring. The Japan Manias a while ago, they were cool. My LZ review, if you've seen that, I thought they were great to play in. I think they're very underrated. But in this box, something truly special. Ooh, just a little tease. I'll spin this around in a sec, give you a proper unboxing, get a proper look at these because they're absolutely chef's kiss. Stunning, delightful to look at. I'm gonna let you know if they're any good on foot. Like I said, if you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe to see more. Without further ado, let's do it. Okay, so potentially I forgot to film an actual unboxing clip, but who cares because look how good they look. And trust me, they're even better in person. Obviously, these are a remake, sort of the F50 from the Battle Pack from the 2014 World Cup, but they're updated with this modern sole plate, which I think is from the X-Ghosted, which is questionable. But obviously they look insane. I'm going to talk a little bit more about kind of what makes them good, what makes them bad, the technical aspects. But first of all, listen to this. I think I just came. Anyway, on foot, they feel fantastic. First of all, the leather is brilliant, super soft, barely any braking time. As you can see, I had to take a few little pickies of them. First touches on the ball, I mean, I'm not great at football, but these made me feel like an absolute baller. They look so good, they're lightweight, they're comfortable. The fit reminds me of some kind of more favoured Adidas boots I had back in the day, around the time of the actual release of these, the 11 Pros, 11 F50, stuff like that, compared to the modern Adidas boots, which I find very stiff and narrow, a lot of them, boots like the Edge and the Speedflow and stuff like that. So definitely a nice little throwback, and what I want to say as well is a nice little touch on these. Obviously they're leather, but the leather is kind of split up into separate little panels on top. It's like, I'm assuming laser cut, and then it has these tiny little strips of grip texture added alternately onto different panels, just to give you an extra little bit of confidence when it comes to controlling the ball, etc. Because obviously speed boots in general aren't made for control, they're not a boot like a Tiempo, but with these being leather, it's kind of a nice hybrid of the two. I would say in general they actually do remind me somewhat of the Tiempo Legend 9, just with them being leather and having that extra little kind of element of comfort and stability to them compared to a synthetic boot. But they are fantastic. Like I said, one of the only downsides for me is the choice of sole plate. It looks awesome, but I'm not a huge fan of the stud shape. When it comes to the actual layout of the studs as well, they have this weird kind of arrow-shaped stud in the middle of the forefoot, which looks interesting, but having played recently in a bunch of different boots, AG boots, Nike boots, etc., I just found, especially when wearing these in an actual game, that the stability of the sole plate and the comfort wasn't quite great. One other slight downside, if you've got wide feet with this boot, is that the lockdown isn't great. The tongue does slide around a little bit when you wear them, so you do spend a lot of time kind of readjusting, but this is a problem I've always personally had with Adidas boots, especially when I wear my old 11 Pro 3s. But you know, this is something you can kind of get over when it is made up for about how amazing they look and how comfortable they actually are on foot. Overall, these really impressed me in terms of the out-the-box feel. They are super light, but I wouldn't say much lighter than any other kind of current leather boot on the market. They look awesome. They are something that isn't necessarily my kind of boot per se, but I've got to admit, I'm definitely a fan. So, after having worn these bad boys, the 2022 F50 Battle Pack Remake, white leather, probably the best looking Adidas boot of the year, up there with the best of the year in general. I would say these are nice. They're definitely really nice. The fit is decent, which I was very worried about. Someone with very wide feet. Because they're leather, there's a bit of give to them. Obviously, the lacing system, you can adjust as to where you need the extra width. They are super light, but you know, I don't think they're any lighter than like a Tiempo Legend 9. I would say these are similar in general foot feel for me to the Tiempo Legend 9. Obviously, I feel like the sole plate is somewhat inferior for my needs, especially after having played in the Nike Ultra Flyknit Venoms recently with the Hypervenom 3 sole plate. It's just not as responsive, reactive. Again, you'll hear me talk about kind of lateral movement, just the configuration of the molds. For me, not as good as the Nike ones in terms of when you're pushing off to one side, when you're starting to accelerate, which is the worst part of my game anyway, so I need all the help I can get, and I really do notice. But the little kind of carbon fibre bits in there, maybe they make you quicker. Who knows? It's science. I'm not a scientist. But yeah, they definitely look awesome. They feel really nice. If you like the original F50s, especially the leather ones, these do feel great. They still feel like an F50. They don't feel like a modern boot that's made to look like an old boot. They do kind of feel like you're wearing the old F50s. Just sole plates different. But yeah, awesome. I don't really know what these are actually reselling for right now. I reached out to a few sellers this morning to try and find out. People don't often kind of put the prices with these. A lot of them are going to pros, so that usually bumps the price up. Retail was $220. I picked these up with a student discount, so it was like $200. I'd say if you can get them for $220, $200, definitely worth the money. Really cool. Definitely a boot that's worth investing in terms of if you're a collector and you want to save some pairs for a few years to make some money, because I think these will definitely go up in value. Kind of all white boots always do, limited editions, F50s, anything with a chrome sole plate. These are kind of the full whammy in terms of a collector's boot. These will definitely skyrocket in value, in my opinion, over the next few years. But if you want to play in them, they're really nice too. So if you like a speed boot, but you also like a leather boot, definitely a great option. It's rare that you get a real mix of the two, so definitely worth getting. Overall, in terms of actually the combination of playing in them, looks, the kind of cool factor, all these kind of things, price in mind, I would give these 8.5 out of 10. I think looks wise, they're like a 10 out of 10. Playing in them, I think maybe an 8 out of 10 for me personally. There's some things that are lacking, like the leather is nice, but I can feel like this kind of ridging doesn't really do anything. Obviously they're made to be a speed boot, not a control boot, so it's just my opinion here. Maybe I'm not quick enough for them to actually be good, but yeah, I'd give them like a 8.5 out of 10, maybe. They're going to be probably quite expensive if you try and cop a pair now, which, you know, obviously hinders my rating, because I can't tell you to go out and buy a boot. It's going to be 300-400 quid and it's going to be awesome. It's 10 out of 10. If you can get them for retail or less, that bumps it up, maybe a 9. Definitely very cool. One of the most popular boots of the year. For me, not one of the best I've played in, but one of the best Adidas boots that I've worn in quite a while. I would actually say, if you're a fan of the 11 Pro 3 that I wear quite a lot, the white with the blue stripe down the middle, they actually feel pretty similar to those. So if you like that boot and you want to try something new to play in, try and get yourself a pair of these. But yeah, 2022 F50 Adizero Battle Pack Leather Remake. Overall, gonna go 8.5 out of 10. Very cool, definitely worth buying as a collector if you can get them for a decent price. If you're gonna buy them to play in, you know, just get used to the fact they're going to drop a lot of value as soon as you're playing them because they're white and they're going to get messed up. But yeah, that's it from me. Bang average football opinion review on a very cool, very sleek, very chef's kiss looking pair of football boots. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're a season ticket holder, you're the best. If you're not, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button, get involved, turn up to every game, do boot reviews, vlogs, football news, anything you want to see, let me know and I'll do it. I'm an attention whore, so I'll do whatever you want. Right, thank you so much. See you in the next video at the next kickoff. Ta-da.
They're all very different people. They come from very different backgrounds. About the only thing they have in common is dedication.